Okay, welcome. We're going to go through and do all of the odds from the review. I will put up a key with both the odd and the even answers with some of the work for the evens. So first we'll start with number 1 here. It says name a pair of opposite rays. Okay, opposite rays, they start at the same spot and they go in opposite directions. So here we look point C. We can make a few rays off of point C, but only 2 are actually opposite rays. So CD is 1. And then we start at C and we go the other way, CB. So CB, ray CB, and ray CD are opposite rays. Number 3, the intersection of plane N and plane T. 2 planes intersect at a line. So the question is which line? And it's actually the one that we were just tracing here, this line in the middle. You can call this line several things. You can call it BC, line BC, line CD, or line BD. All you need is just 2 points on that line to name it. Okay, number 5, it says to name the kinds of angles here. Well, these two, they're adjacent and they're also supplementary, so that is a linear pair. You want to try to use the most specific name. All right, number 7, what type of angles are shown here? Well, we could say adjacent, but that's not really the most specific. These are actually complementary because this box right here tells us they add up to 90. So complementary. Okay, and remember, complementary only has 1 p, so that adds up to 90. And supplementary has 2 p's, so that adds up to 180. Number 9, M is the midpoint of PQ. Midpoint means in the middle, so it cuts it in 2 equal parts. So PM and MQ are congruent to each other. So this 7x plus 8, which is PM, will be equal to this 5x plus 20, which is MQ. So 7x plus 8 equals 5x plus 20. All right, and we'll solve here. So take away 5x. So you get 2x plus 8 equals 20. Take away 8 from both sides. So you get 2x is equal to 12. Divide by 2. And you get x is 6. Now we need to find PM. So we have to actually plug in to the expression here for PM. So 7 times 6 plus 8. So 7 times 6 is 42, and you add 8 to that, you get PM is 50. Number 11, given O is between D and G, find OG. Okay, between. Between means it's somewhere in here. Doesn't mean that it's exactly in the middle. So we have to understand that if we take the 2 sections, DO and OG, and add them, we'll get the total line, which is 60 here. So 4x minus 3 plus 2x plus 21 has to equal to 60. Okay, combine like terms. 4x and 2x is 6x. Negative 3 and positive 21, that's positive 18. And that's equal to 60. So subtract 18. So you get 6x is equal to 42. And divide by 6. And you get x is 7. Now we need to find OG. So OG is this 2x plus 21. So 2 times 7 plus 21. So this is 14 plus 21, so that's 35. So OG is 35. Okay, number 13. B is between A and C. So we don't, it looks like B is in the middle, but we don't really know. So we have to add the 2 and set it equal to the total. So 9x plus 7 plus negative 3x plus 20 has to equal to 39. So 9x and negative 3x, that makes 6x. And 7 and 20 make 27. That's equal to 39. Take away 27. So we get 6x is equal to 12. Divide by 6. And x is 2. And that's what they wanted. So we just have x. Okay, number 15 is angle addition. So it says here FE bisects angle DEG. So this line in the middle has cut this angle into 2 equal parts. So DEF is equal to FEG. So this 5x minus 3, which is DEF, is equal to FEG, which is 2x plus 15. And we need to find the measure of angle FEG. And in order to do that, we have to first find x. So take away 2x. So we get 3x minus 3 is equal to 15. Add 3. 3x is equal to 18. Divide by 3 on both sides. We get x is 6. Now we have to plug in for FEG. So it's 2x plus 15. So 2 times 6 plus 15. So the measure of angle FEG is equal to, well, that's 12 plus 15, so that's 27 degrees. All right, conditional statements. Remember, if you can find one instance where the statement is not true, you have to say it is false. If it's always, always, always true, then you can say it's true. All right, so if two angles are supplementary, then their sum is 90. Well, guys, the definition of supplementary means they add up to 180. So if they're supplementary, can they add up to 90? No. It's false. Okay, number 19. If an animal is a dog, then it has 4 legs. Think about it, guys. Does every single dog in the world have 4 legs? No. And does the fact that it doesn't have 4 legs make it not a dog? No. It's still a dog, but it doesn't have 4 legs. So that one would be false. Okay, the conjectures. So it says the sum of 2 negative numbers. Think about it. If you have negative numbers and you're adding more negatives, your number's just going to get more negative. So the sum of 2 negative numbers is negative. Okay, detachment, syllogism, are not valid. Detachment, remember it goes P, then Q, P, and then Q. It's got to go in that order. Okay, sometimes you'll see it like this, P, then Q, P, then Q. As long as they go in the right order, you're good. Syllogism, again, is if P, then Q. If Q, then R, then you could conclude P, then R. So we'll go through here. 23. If I go to the movie, okay, that's P, then I'll eat popcorn. That's our Q. If I eat popcorn, okay, that's Q, then I'll enjoy the movie. Okay, that's different than going to the movie, so that's R. So we're looking for if I go to the movie, then I'll enjoy the movie, okay? If I go to the movie, that's P, then I'll enjoy the movie, that's R. Did we follow syllogism? P then Q, Q then R, P then R? Yes. So this is syllogism. Okay, 25. If my mother lets me go to a movie, so that's your hypothesis, then I will be happy. That's the conclusion. All right, conclusion. I am happy. So what does that match? The conclusion, so that's Q. My mom let me go to the movie. That's P. Let's see, it looks like it's trying to be detachment, but did we go P then Q, P then Q? No, we went P, Q, and then QP. So this one is not valid. Because think about it, you could be happy for other reasons. other than your mom letting you go to the movie. All right, 27. Parallel lines cut by a transversal. Okay, corresponding angles. They're angles that look like they're in the same spots, but in our different groups. So angle 1 corresponds to angle 5. So 1 and 5. Angle 2 corresponds to angle 6. So 2 and 6. Angle 4 corresponds to angle 8. And then angle 3 corresponds to angle 7. So those are corresponding angles, and remember they are congruent, meaning equal. Okay, pairs of same side exterior. So we're looking for the ones that are on the outside. So that just leaves us with 1 and 2, 8 and 7. And then we want them on the same side of the transversal. So 1 and 8, those are on the same side. And then 2 and 7, those are on the same side. Okay, 31. Name all the pairs of alternate exterior angles. So again, we want them to be outside the parallel lines, which they are here. Okay, and then we want them to be alternate on that transversal. So 1 is opposite 7. So 1 and 7. And then here 2 and 8. And your alternate exterior angles again are congruent. Your same side exterior angles are supplementary, so they add up to 180. Okay, 33. Identify the transversal and classify the angle pair for angles 3 and 6. So here's angle 3, and there's angle 6. Look for the one single line that cuts across both of them. Which one is it? P. So your transversal is line P, and then your parallel lines are L and M. Okay, and so right here we see that 3 and 6 are between the parallel lines, but they're on different sides of our transversal, so they are alternate interior angles. Okay, so they're on transversal P and they're alternate interior angles. 35. Find the measure of OPQ. OPQ is that angle right there, and we can see it's a corresponding angle with TSP. So 3x minus 15 is equal to 2x plus 7. So take away 2x on both sides. So we get x minus 15 is equal to 7. Add 15 on both sides. And so you get x is 22. Now we need angle OPQ, so we got to plug in here. So 2 times 22 plus 7. So that's 44 plus 7. So we get 51 degrees. That's angle OPQ. Okay, number 37. Find the value of x. Okay, this 60 and this 8x minus 4, they're alternate interior angles, so they are congruent to each other. So you have 8x minus 4 is equal to 60. You add 4 to both sides. 8x equals 64. Divide by 8 on both sides. You get x is 8. And that's all we need, it's just x. Okay, 39. Write the equation of the line with slope 5 going through 2, negative 6 in point slope form. Point slope form is y minus y1 is m times x minus x1. So all you have to do is plug in the information. There's not really any simplifying needed very much. Like you don't have to multiply in or anything. So 5 is our slope, and our x1 and our y1 come from that point. So y minus negative 6, notice how I put that in parentheses, is equal to 5 now times x minus, my x1 is 2, so x minus 2. Now the only simplifying we need to do here is minus the negative 6. So minus the negative 6 turns into plus 6. So y plus 6 is equal to 5 times x minus 2. And this is your equation in point slope form. All right, to determine if lines are parallel, perpendicular, or neither, you have to look at their slopes. Parallel, they have the same slope. Perpendicular, they have the negative reciprocal. So that's where you change the sign and you flip the number. So 41. Here's our slope, it's 3, and there's our slope, it's also 3. And also you got to make sure they're solved for y. So if it's not solved for y, you got to solve that for that first. 3 and 3. Is it the same slope? Yes. So they're parallel. Okay, 43. One has a slope of 2, one has a slope of 5. If we were trying to find the negative reciprocal of either one of these, well, 2, the negative reciprocal, would be negative 1/2. And 5, the negative reciprocal of that would be negative 1/5. Do we see either of these numbers here? No, we just see 2 and 5. So this is neither. Because they're not the same slope and they're not the negative reciprocals of each other. Okay, triangles here. Number 45. It says find the value of x. Okay, this 11x plus 5 is talking about this angle here. This is an equilateral triangle, so all 3 angles, the corners, are all 60 degrees. Okay, the angles have nothing to do with the sides. Just equilateral 60-degree angles. So 11x plus 5 is equal to 60. So minus 5 from both sides. So you have 11x is equal to 55. Divide by 11. So x is 5. And that's all we need. Alright. Find the measurement of angle ATM. Now angle ATM is right here. This angle in the corner. We don't know what that is. All 3 have to add up to 180. So we can do 82 and 27, add that up together. So you get 9, and 8 plus 2 is 10, so 109. So do 180 minus 109. So 10 minus 9 is 1, and 7 minus 0 is 7, and 1 minus 1 is nothing. So the measure of angle ATM has to be 71 degrees. Okay, 49. Find the value of x. This is the exterior angle theorem. So x, the one on the outside, has to be equal to the sum of these two remote interior angles. So x is equal to 64 plus 45. So, well, 4 and 5, that's 9, and 6 and 4, that's 10. So x is 109 degrees. Okay, number 51. What postulate can be used to prove the triangle's congruent? Okay, well, all we have here, we've got an angle there, an angle here, okay, and then we have the side that they share in the middle. So, what is it? Angle, angle, side. Angle, angle, side. That's how they can be congruent. We should mark our S here. All right, 53. If CP is a perpendicular bisector of AB, what is the value of x? Okay, if you have a perpendicular bisector, you automatically know that CA and CB are congruent to each other. So 7x plus 1 is equal to 10x minus 5. So minus 7x minus 7x. We get 1 is equal to 3x minus 5. Add 5 to both sides. So you get 6 is equal to 3x. Divide by 3. So x equals 2. Okay, number 55. Use the mid-segment formula to find the value of x. You have to take your mid-segment and you multiply it by 2 to get the bottom one. So 2 times 3x minus 1 is equal to 34. So multiply in here. So 6x minus 2 is equal to 34. Okay, add 2. So we have 6x is equal to 36. Divide by 6 on both sides. You get x equals 6. And that's what they wanted. Okay, number 57. You have to excuse the printing here. This stuff here, to find the value of x and round to the nearest 10, that should go with problem number 59. And then also on this one here, 56, this TEV is 15. That's what's a bracket. There's a bracket right here. That 15 goes with this whole side. And the little x goes with just this portion. And then this in triangle ABC, the measure of angle A is 50, and all that stuff goes with question 58 down here. So we'll do 57. So it says, what theorem proves these triangles similar? Well, all they give us information about is the angles. So we can see both of them have a 90, and so now we need to subtract 2 of the angles from 180 and see if it gives us the other angle in the second triangle. So 180 minus 90 is 90. So then we'll do 90.0 minus 36.8. And we should get 53.2 if they are similar. So we got to borrow here. 10 minus 8 is 2. And 9 minus 6 is 3. And 8 minus 3 is 5. So we get that this one is 53.2. Well, does that match? Yes. So we have 2 angles that are congruent to each other. So it's angle-angle similarity. Okay, 59. Find the value of x round to the nearest tenth. So x is on the inside. So think about what is on the inside. Your heartbeat or a boomerang? Your heartbeat. So you compare 30 and x and 40. So you have 30 over x is x over 40. Okay, multiply. So x squared and 30 times 40 is 1200. And so then you got to do the square root here. And so you get x is 34.641, and it goes on. So now we need to round our answer to the nearest tenth. So you look at the hundredths. So here's a 4. The 4 is not going to make that 6 round up. So x is 34.6. Okay, midpoint and distance. It says find the midpoint of GH with endpoints G 65 and H 92. Okay, to do the midpoint, you add your x's and you add your y's and you divide them by 2. So to find our x coordinate, I'm going to take x1 plus x2 and divide by 2. So we have 6 plus 9 and divide that by 2. So 9 plus 6 is 15. And if you divide that by 2, you get 7.5. So this is our x value. Now we got to do the y's. So y1 plus y2 and divide that by 2. So y1 is 5 and y2 is 2. And we divide by 2. So 7 divided by 2 is 3.5. So our midpoint is at 7.5, 3.5, or equivalently 15 over 2, 7 over 2. Okay, 63. Use the distance formula to find the distance to the nearest tenth from A to B. All right, you have x1 and y1, x2 and y2. The distance formula is the square root of x2 minus x1 squared plus y2 minus y1 squared. So now we just plug in. x2 is negative 1 minus x1 is 8, and you square that. And then we have y2, which is 3, minus y1, which is 5, and you square that. Now you need to plug in these parentheses and the squared into your calculator. Okay, so I'm just going to do it step by step here. -1 minus 8 is -9, and that -9 stays in the parentheses, squared. Okay, and 3 minus 5 is -2, and again, that gets squared. You have to be careful with these negatives. So -9 squared is -9 times -9, which is positive 81. And -2 times -2 is positive 4. So now we have the square root of 81 plus 4, so it's 85. So the distance is the square root of 85, which, if you calculate, square root of 85, you get 9.2195, and so on. Okay, we only need to round to the nearest tenth, so we look at the hundredths place. That's a 1, so it's not going to round up. So we just get 9.2. That is the distance from A to B. All right, and so that's it. So make sure that you've gone through and do all of the evens, and if you can watch this and do these with ease, then you should be prepared for the final. So good luck. Remember, turning in the review gets you extra points on the final. Also make sure that you've turned in any assignments that have been missing or any extra credit, and we'll get that all taken care of. So see you guys in class. Bye.